Well, hey there, everybody. I'm Jingles Roscoe. I decided that I wanted to give one of those, what do you call it? Commentary speed paintings a try. All of my favorite people online do them. And I was like, well, I can give that a try. Um, since I've been practicing on my speed paintings and trying to get better and watching a bunch of other videos, I felt inspired. So here we go. As you can see here, I am drawing Jotaro Kujo, or Kujo Jotaro, if you want to be Japanese about it. From JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 3. One of the few parts that I've actually read through its entirety. I've also read through Part 1 all the way through. No, sorry. Part 2 all the way through. I haven't read Part 1 yet. I've been meaning to getting around to watching the Part 1 anime. I haven't seen any of the anime yet, but it's on the to-do list. I've seen a lot of silly clips and stuff like that, and I've been really wanting to draw Jotaro for a while. And so I decided, yeah, finally let's do it. I'm in the sketching phases right now. As you can see, what I like to do, I learned this from watching Plague of Gripes, is using different colors of the line work. So when you do another sketch layer, you can see your drawing sketches better than you would otherwise if they were both the same color, and just kind of lowered the opacity on them. But my favorite color is red, so I've decided that all of my sketch layers are going to be red, and then I just change the color of the layer later to usually blue, just because blue is also a very nice color, and it really helps stand out. And yeah, here's Jotaro. He wasn't actually as hard as I thought he was going to be, with the right reference images, as you can see them popping up here and there on the side. He wasn't too hard for me to get a good idea down as to what I wanted for the picture. If you saw earlier in the video, I had him pointing forward, but that didn't end up turning out. It was just, I couldn't figure out a way to make it look nice, and so I just scrapped that idea and went with this hand on hat pose that I gave him, and his just yada yada face he's got on, because he doesn't care, he just wants a break. This picture ended up looking a lot better than I expected it to, and it's mainly because, like, I knew I was recording, and whenever I record myself doing anything, it always feels awkward and weird, and I was afraid that that was going to translate over into the actual drawing itself, but it didn't seem to, and I'm very, very happy about that. Yeah, I like the simplicity of Jotaro's design. Pretty straightforward. He's got that 80s kind of punk Japanese schoolboy uniform that, if you read the manga, he refuses to change. He and Kakyoin, they get the opportunity to wear something more appropriate for their area, which they end up going to the Middle East because of reasons. Watch the show. And they get the opportunity to change, but they refuse. And I'm just like, I respect that. As an artist, I can see why the characters decided to, because really, Araki probably just didn't want to have to come up with a whole new outfit for them. But yeah, we're moving on here to Star Platinum, who is also very cool design. Araki obviously really went all out with the stand designs, which is also very cool. I'm hoping to get into checking out the other parts of JoJo, because, like, I really like the designs of a lot of stuff. I thought the Pillarmen were really cool. if a bit, you know, overly sexualized, but I'm sure that was the entire point of them. Which, if it's a joke, then I can laugh. If it's not a joke, then it's less funny to me. But yeah, all the stands seem to just be these big, strong muscle men, which is, growing up, I was never really into like overly muscular anatomy for a bunch of stuff. The only show that I would ever watch that I was really interested in that had overly muscular characters really was like Dragon Ball Z. Most other shows had more lean characters, which is why in most of my early drawings, most of my characters are leaner in build. But lately, since I've been really trying to study human anatomy and get a better taste of, or an idea of what strong human anatomy looks like, I've been trying to challenge myself more and more to try and figure it out and learn how to draw it, which I think has been turning out actually really well. I've been surprising myself in that regard. But yeah, Star Platinum, I just, for the first sketch layer that I did, I just kept his anatomy really simple. Just kind of squares and blocks and just kind of getting everything set in the right position that I want. And then after I got that down, just drawing in the musculature and adding more details. That's kind of a little tip, is you don't have to try and draw the overly detailed parts of a character on your first sketch layer. You can just let it ride, you know, for your first layer. I keep readjusting Star Platinum here because his proportions looked weird to me. Like his head to body ratio just kept looking weird to me, and that just comes from me drawing more lean characters all the time, and just when I get more muscly, the characters end up looking kind of weird to me. But then after I leave it and then come back after a day, I look at it, I'm like, no, it actually looks fine. And this one, pretty much, that's how I felt after I was done drawing it here. Yeah, the designs of these characters are really cool. I've seen other stands from the different parts of the show, which are also really cool looking. Maybe I'll get around to drawing some of them. I actually was thinking about drawing old Joseph Joestar, just because I was introduced to the show with part 3, and so I really got into old Joseph. He was like my favorite character. And then I read part 2, and Joseph in part 2, he's okay. He's kind of a jerk to a lot of people, but I think he grows out of that, which I think is pretty cool. It's always nice to have a good character arc for a character. And Joseph seems to be the kind of person that at first he's just like, oh, all about myself, and I don't care about other people, and like this vampire like may or may not have killed Uncle Speedwagon, and I'm gonna take care of that guy for it because I can use Hamon even though I'm really bad at it. And then he, you know, has a slice of humble cake given to him by Lisa and Caesar, and he learns to be a better person, which I think is important with storytelling and character writing and stuff like that. Is to don't leave your characters in the same place. Always have them change, even if it's for the worse, I think. Like, if your character becomes kind of a dirtbag, then that's still an arc. As long as it's for a good reason. If it's for a dumb reason, then I find it boring and just not fun to watch. Like most TV shows these days, people like to just throw in drama for the sake of throwing in drama. Whereas with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, they seem to, when there's drama, there feels like a good reason for it. I've really enjoyed reading JoJo and learning more stuff about it, either through clips from the manga or other things that I learn about it through the internet, because the internet will spoil everything. Luckily, they didn't spoil a whole lot of Part 3 for me, so when I was reading it, I was able to be surprised by plenty of stuff. Here I am getting into the coloring portion, which I've sped up more than the actual drawing part, because to me, watching the coloring parts are kind of boring to watch. And so I just make it go faster. I'm really just kind of sampling out the colors from the reference images on the right you see there, and then just applying them to the picture. But here and there I readjust them just slightly so that they look a little bit better, I think. Because when you sample something directly from something else, I kind of feel like even though it's like a perfect copy of it, it doesn't always turn out correctly. As you can see, I also put Star Platinum's fist on its own separate layer so that it can be kind of hovering in front of Jotaro. So it looks like Star Platinum's kind of punching over him towards the viewer, which to me felt like the easiest way to do it. just put it on separate layers, and that's why it's like, oh, he doesn't have a hand there, and then when you turn on the layer, oh, his hand's back. if that was confusing to you at all, I doubt it was, but that's my technique, my super secret Joestar technique. But there, and that allows me to readjust it there, as you can see. I was just not 100% happy with the positioning, and readjusting it kind of helped it a little bit. I'm still not 100%, but I'll probably come back to this and look at it later and figure out a better way and apply that to a different thing, a different drawing at some other point. Here I'm adding black shading to the picture, which when I get on later on in the video, I decide to change it to a different color, just because it helps the colors pop a little bit better here. I'm trying to, in the most lazy way possible, change it to purple, but it's not working for me, but I figure it out and change it to purple, and then change the layer to multiply and lower the opacity so it gives you that kind of purple shading that I think really ended up looking pretty good. I didn't know if it was going to turn out alright, but after I did it to Star Platinum, I was like, no, that looks good. So I did it for the rest of the picture. I also applied these white outlines to kind of help them pop from the background, because I never draw backgrounds. I really should. One of these days when I'm experimenting, I might try something out, because I'll experiment with different stuff. There you go. That's the end. I hope you enjoyed it.